Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to the channel for episode 9 in our stable tour series. We've recently had Gordon Elliott, we have just had Sean Bowen, so it was only fitting that we had Olly Murphy. But I've got you at a pretty busy time, Ollie, with Chepstow obviously around the corner. But delighted to have you on. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
It must be getting sort of exciting now. Obviously, we've got Chepstow kicking off straight away tomorrow. What's the mood like at the yard this sort of time of the season, really, Ollie?
Yeah, no, it's a very exciting time of year. It's actually a kind of tough period for the team at home. There's not a lot of reward at the moment, but a lot of hard work that's kind of going on behind the scenes. Yeah, we've had an extremely busy last kind of 3 or 4 weeks galloping horses, getting horses ready for their first engagements, and yeah, we're just waiting for a bit of rain now. And as soon as we've got rain, we're gonna be very busy.
Yeah, that was what I was going to mention. It seems to be like that every year at the moment. We get to this point, we could just do with a few drops to get a bit of moisture into the ground. But Ollie, what we'll do, we'll just go straight on into the horses because I'm conscious of your time. And it took me ages to narrow down your horses, so I'd have you on for hours if I could. But whilst we've got Chepstow starting tomorrow, I think the place to start would just be with Stick to the Plan, who have entered in the Persian War. Now, he was really impressive winning that listed race over at Galway. And my initial question really was going to be, how's he been at home and how much do you know about him? But I suppose with the fact that you're ready to kick on with him tomorrow suggests that you're happy with everything and how he's been at home. Because you could have waited for Cheltenham, I suppose, in a couple of weeks' time. But how has he settled into things at the yard?
Yeah, no, he settled in well. Do you know what? It was actually been a very tough decision over the last 48 hours to whether we were going to run him here in a Persian War or whether we were going to wait and run him in a Grade 2 novice at Cheltenham in two
I
weeks.
see.
He is a horse, I think, who's got loads of speed. If I had one concern tomorrow, I'd be more concerned about the 2.5, more so than the £5 penalty. His work has been very good. Obviously, looks extremely competitive novice as you'd expect. But yeah, I don't think he's short of a turn of foot. And yeah, really looking forward to running him. He'll be ridden very patiently, and I think if he does everything professionally and switches off well, I don't see any reason why he won't run extremely well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Because he's by Great Pretender, who is a very, very good side. Lossymouth, Grenadine, Putty Zig, and all of the rest of it. I suppose after tomorrow, is that when you'll decide what the future may hold for him and just see what happens tomorrow first?
Yeah, I think he's a horse now to run kind of all these good 2 mile novices. And listen, obviously, if he stays 2.5 tomorrow, up to 2.5 miles as well. But I don't think he's a horse for the absolute depths of the winter. I think he'll be staying away from very heavy ground. He's a good moving horse. He points his toe, and I think he'll handle good ground very well. Yeah, looking forward to running him tomorrow. We'll kind of see where we stand. The one thing he's got is lots of experience. Yeah, no, looking forward to running him, and yeah, he shows me plenty at home.
Well, best of luck with him for tomorrow. I hope he starts obviously the season for you really well. I mean, quick look back at the end of last season, you had a fantastic time of things with Resplendent Grey, the 7-year-old by Walk in the Park. Not only did he win that Bet365 Gold Cup, but you had a battalion of Mullins horses chasing you down. But Sean was not going to let that stop him, and you must have been absolutely delighted with well, not just with Sean, with Resplendent Grey that day. It was superb, wasn't it? Really good.
Yeah, no, it was a great day. It was kind of one of those days I actually went racing. Yeah, a bit blasé about what the result was going to be of my runners, but yeah, it was a fantastic day, like you said. Obviously, Sean being crown champion jockey, and then that lad to win the Bet365 was magic. He's a horse that kind of flattered to deceive a little bit last year. I thought we had actually a really frustrating season with him up until Sandown, and it was great to see him put it all together and win a big one. We came out of Cheltenham extremely frustrated, and yeah, he's a good horse, and hopefully he's matured again. Second season novice, and we're going to aim him for a Hennessy. He'll have a prep run beforehand, and yeah, he's one we're excited about.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I was going to sort of suggest that about last season because this big pot it had been coming. It was just about it all, I suppose, coming together at the right time. When you have Resplendent Grey at home, just out of curiosity, is he a good workhorse? What does he show you at home in that basis as well? Is he easy enough to train, or was that part of the difficulty, through the season? Like you said, you weren't necessarily happy with him after Cheltenham as such.
Yeah, no, he's straightforward to train, albeit he rides out in a hood at home. He can be very keen at home, and obviously when he gets to the racetrack now, he actually races behind the bridle and wears a set of cheek pieces. So yeah, the first kind of part of his career, we were kind of trying to slow him down and get him to relax, and now obviously the hood's come off and the set of cheek pieces have gone on. He stays very well, and I just think he improved throughout the season. We rode him a bit different in Sandown. And yeah, he just stays very well. And hopefully he's going to be a kind of lovely, lovely stone chaser.
Okay, we'll move on to strong leader Ollie, who you've had plenty of success with. Um, Brilliant hurdler on his day as well. He was second at Aintree. I suppose, I mean, first of all, how has he been over the summer, actually, before we go any further?
Good, yeah, he's done well. He actually galloped this morning for the first time and galloped really well. So yeah, all systems kind of lead to Wetherby at the end of the month for the Great Yorkshire Hurdle. Obviously, we're going to need a drop of rain to ensure the ground is safe, but he does like top of the ground. So as long as the ground is kind of safe and whatnot, he doesn't need it to testing. But yeah, we were again frustrated after entry. They didn't go very quick at all, and he's not a horse you can force early, and kind of turned into a sprint up the home straight, and then he stayed going real well. And we just felt if they went a stronger gallop that he may have won. But listen, racing's full of if nots and maybes, and yeah, wasn't to be. Albeit he ran very well, and I still believe on his days as good a 3 mile staying novice hurdler we got this side of the water, and
Hmm.
when he puts it all together, he's very good.
Is a flat track quite important to him, Ollie? His form would
I,
suggest so, but I'm not sure if that's
I think it's a necessity.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think his form says that, and yeah, will we go back to Cheltenham? Listen, we may well do. The owners love it there, which is completely understandable, and yeah, he's just a lot better going left-handed on a flat track. I think he even hated Ascot at Christmas, right-handed, the undulations, and yeah, he's just a horse that yeah really kind of likes flat left-handed tracks. Even he won his bumper around Warwick, very good form round Aintree. He won round Southall. Yeah, his form just speaks that he likes going left-handed and being kept to flat tracks.
Excellent. Best of luck with him. I'm sure you're going to have a few more wins at him again this season. Go Dante, lovely 9-year-old, the Imperial Cup winner for you. Again, brilliant ride by Sean. I could watch that all day long, the way he managed to hold them off. But again, how has he been? Another big pot on him somewhere this season, you think, Ollie?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I still think he's reasonably handicapped, and just the one thing, he's obviously getting older. I think he will appreciate an extra half mile at some point.
Okay.
So yeah, whether we start him off over two and end up going 2.5 at some point, and obviously looking back at an Imperial Cup, it'd be fantastic to try and go and win a third one. He loves Sandown, loves heavy ground, and yeah, I just think he stays very well at 2 miles, and it has to be testing in order for him to yeah, he does. He just stays well at 2 miles and loves soft ground.
Fantastic. I'm going to sort of compile these next two into one because I put up a horse to follow and I've pinpointed a race. A good friend of mine, Ian Rayner, has done the same, and we both really like these horses. But I'm just going to tell you where we're at. I think Active Authority is a potential per temps horse this year. I was speaking to my friend about it, and he said, "Well, what about Long Draw?" And I said, "Oh yeah, of course. He's won twice at Cheltenham already." But Active Authority, he's a 7-year-old now off 139, and you haven't sent him chasing just yet because of where his mark is at currently. Am I on any sort of right line that he could be a per temps horse for this coming season?
Yeah, I think it's a good shout. Re both horses.
Okay, good.
It's been discussed already, especially with Long Draw. Active Authority, I think he's crying out for 3 miles as well. He's not over big, so we're not
Okay,
kind of mad on jumping a fence just yet. I can't see him improving a stone for a fence. He's still unexposed. He improved the whole way through last year. Loves strongly run handicaps and clearly likes it around Cheltenham, as does Long Draw. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where Active Authority will start off. If it wasn't overly testing, he might go for the fixed brush hurdle at Haydock. Again, if the ground was only good, excuse me, at Wetherby at the end of the month, it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world if he started off in the Great Yorkshire Hurdle. If it was going to be not uncompetitive is the wrong word, but if kind of the 150 horses weren't going to run with it being good ground. So yeah, that's where he's at. But yeah, you're on the right line. He could well be a Pertemps horse, and long draw goes to Cheltenham in 2 weeks' time for a Pertemps qualifier.
Because he loves it there, Longboard, doesn't he? That he seems to thrive up that hill. You can almost see him coming, and he's almost seemingly doing a half speed until he hits that bottom of the hill, and then as soon as you let him go, he
Yeah, he takes off.
just
Yeah,
stops.
he stays very well. He loves good ground. He's
Okay,
definitely not a horse who wants very soft ground. So yeah, again, I thought he was unlucky now in Haydock. The track just caught him out the last day in that good 3 mile handicap hurdle on Swinton Hurdle Day, and yeah, track was just too sharp for him. But yeah, he goes to Cheltenham in 2 weeks' time, and he'll be trained for a Pertemps.
fantastic. Thank you. Indivar Blue, a 7-year-old off 126. That surely underestimates his true ability. I know you've spoken quite highly about this horse previously. He's only had the 5 career starts to date. Is that something to do with him being a little bit fragile? Is that a fair assessment, Ollie?
Yeah, do you know what? He's had all different types of niggly little problems.
Okay.
He made his debut in Air or 20, 21 months ago, and got really badly jarred up, and then never ran again that season. He then obviously came back and won a maiden hurdle at Leicester with his head in his chest, and then went to Haydock, didn't think he could get beat, could not understand how he got beat, let alone finish third. He came home, he had a trapped epiglottis, so had to have a wind operation. Then we had no rain for 6 weeks through the late part of Feb, March, and April, and it managed to pour with rain at Fosslas. So yeah, we didn't
Well,
go through to Fosslas through choice now. He just needed more experience and won well. So yeah, I'm kind of toing and froing whether I jump a fence him straight away or whether we go for Jerry Fielden at Newbury.
mhm.
Good horse, very, very good horse, and hasn't achieved anywhere near as much as he should have done by now. But listen, he's still a relatively young horse. Hopefully, we get a clean run with him, and yeah, I think we've got a lot of unfinished business.
Is he one with his sort of fragile sort of going? We need a little bit of cut in the ground as well, like you've sort of similar said there with Fosslash, your weight just for safety as well as comfort for him, of course, and longevity.
Absolutely, just definitely wants a bit of ease in the ground. Wants a big slow track, and yeah, he's got a big engine now, and I'll be very disappointed if we're talking this time next year if he didn't win a good race this year, whether it be over hurdles or fences.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that for sure. Fingal Bridge, another. He was fantastic. Won at Uttoxeter, won at Market Raisin, and then won the listed race at Exeter, beating Regent Stroll. Subsequently, then finished second. Who subsequently finished second at Aintree behind Honesty Policy. I mean, your boy put him aside fairly easy that day. He just looks like another one that's going to be plenty talented going forward. You must be really excited by him.
Yeah, he's fragile. He's had leg trouble
Okay,
in the past, but if he stays sound now, he's as exciting a horse as we've got to train this season. He's going to go jumping fences. I'd like to think he might start off at Weatherby, sorry, Charlie Hall weekend in a 2.5 mile beginners chase. Loves soft ground, wants a big track, and yeah, he looks tailor made for a Scilly Isles if he kind of takes to everything, we can get some experience under his belt.
does he work well at home as well? Sort of shows that ability we've seen on track at home.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's an
Good.
absolute. He's a sow to gallop, and yeah, he's a proper horse, and I just hope we can keep the wheels on and whatnot because hopefully I think he'll take his owners on some big days.
Fantastic. One of my favourite horses in your yard, Ollie, is we don't see him too often. Is Butch, the lovely 8-year-old. I just I've seen you speak about loads of horse people ask, but he's one of my favourites at your yard. And just give me a little bit on him and how he's been at home because I feel like we may never have seen quite the best of him. I know he has one at Cheltenham. Um, how has he been over the summer? He's a little bit of an enigma, really, even though he's an
Yeah,
8.
he had a lot of health issues last year, hence why we only saw him twice. We had trouble with him bursting blood vessels,
Okay,
both at home and then on the racetrack. So yeah, listen. Hopefully we got that under control. He's had a wind operation, just to see if that's what was kind of hindering him.
okay,
Touchwood, he's training well this far. He won a Cheltenham Novice and a Cheltenham Handicap, obviously the year before last, and has an awful lot of ability. And he puts a lot into his races. So whether he was bursting blood vessels last year
okay.
because the year before took its mark, I don't know. But Touchwood, he's trained well this far. He jumps the fence really well. He won well round Leicester, and then kind of looked like he was going to win his race at Carlisle, and burst a blood vessel. You could actually see it off the TV screen. So he's been very frustrating. If we can stop him doing that, I don't see any reason why he still can't be a good horse. But we just got to sort that problem out, and hopefully we have. My vets have done all sorts. He's on all sorts of different treatment programs, and with a bit of luck, we'll stop him bursting blood vessels. He's had a clean run this far, and he may well go to Haydock
Hey,
Betfair Chase weekend for a graduation chase.
brilliant, brilliant. I'm glad to hear that. He's just a horse I've always really enjoyed watching. I just love watching him race. He's a proper beast of a horse. Reminds me of like a real old school national hunt big chaser, you know. Um, a horse I've always liked as well, Weighed Out. I feel like he's one that was always going to come into his own over fences. Are you considering sending him that way this season?
Absolutely. He's actually ready to run as soon as we get a drop of rain.
Excellent.
He will go novice handicap chasing. I feel like his mark is still very workable. I've been kind of delaying stepping him up to 3 miles for ages, so I think there's plenty of improvement when we do. He'll start off over 2.5, and I'd imagine he'll end up kind of running over 3 miles at some point in the season. I'd really hope that he could make up into a really nice kind of 3 mile novice chaser.
Because he was mixing it with all of the decent novice hurdlers from last season, sort of over this side of the water, wasn't he as well? When you have a novice hurdler like him, for example, who typically looks like he'll improve for fence, do you give them an easy-ish time as novice hurdlers, just to give them something to build on when they go chasing, or am I just way off?
Yeah, yeah, so. Probably not so much with a horse like him. He's
Okay,
actually not the biggest, most robust horse in the world,
okay.
and he's hardy. But yeah, he won his first two races well. Stepped him up in grade then at Cheltenham, and he was beat before he even jumped one. Came back, had horrific ulcers. Went and won well at Wetherby, and actually really fancied him at Aintree in a handicap. It was just too sharp for him. Good ground, 2.5 miles was just too sharp for him. So he still ran well. I think he finished fifth or sixth. But yeah, he's a horse now that I think he hasn't fulfilled his potential, and I'd be hopeful now he could win a nice race this season.
Excellent. You've got a very nice 5-year-old called Wilstar. Now, I'm a massive fan of Dr. Dino, but the thing that's sort of attracting people to him the most is the fact, obviously, he's a half brother to John Bon and Duvan. He won a really nice bumper at Perth. He, you've had the likes of Thomas Darby and Itchy Feet. Ollie have taken you to the Supreme and run really well in those sort of races. Does he sort of give you those sort of vibes as well, Will Starr? Because he looks very classy, doesn't he? I mean,
Yeah, he's a smart horse. I think he would have won first time out at Warwick. Now he pulled Sean's arms out. He was very keen and fresh, and still ran well behind a good horse at Graham McPherson's Destination Dubai.
yeah,
Yeah, he's a horse we love. I don't think he's the finished article, but I'd like to think he'd be kind of well up there with our better novice hurdlers for the season. So yeah, loves his jumping. Sean's a big admirer of him, and yeah, he'll start from a maiden hurdle now in the next few weeks as soon as we got a drop of rain, and he's one to look forward to.
excellent. Two new recruits I just want to ask you about, Ollie. And again, I don't know how much you can tell me about these just now because they're quite new. You've got a nice gelded by Goliath de Burle called Kathia, a 3-year-old bay gelding. Really nice pedigree on this
I
one.
I actually don't think he's with me. Sorry.
Apologies, I got that one passed on. My apologies.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's not with me.
And okay, Gwenamite by Dr. Dino.
Yeah, sorry, I actually tell a lie. They both are with me. They're both over in a pre-training yard in Ireland, and
Oh, sure.
they'll spend the season over there. Sorry,
No, that's
I
okay.
yeah, I know their pedigrees, not their names. When they come over from France,
Yeah, yeah.
they arrive with names. They've all been broken in Ireland, and they've now gone down to Michael Kennedy in Cork, where they'll do all their pre-training and come back to me in the spring. They won't run this season.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Maybe I'll come back to you then ones then on next season. And last one I just want to ask you about because I asked Sean for a horse to follow and he gave me Wandering Ego. I just thought I could get a comment from you perhaps and see, then I can tally up the two and see make
Yeah, I'd say trainer error. Trainer thought he was a bit cleverer than he actually is. I sent him up to Perth half ready, just thinking that he'd completely get away with it, and
Okay.
yeah, he'd win first time out half fit. yeah, served myself right. Came down to second last, looked like he'd win. Landed out the back of it, had a massive blow, and Sean looked after him. Lovely horse. He'll go somewhere in a couple of weeks' time. I'd imagine he'll go and win his maiden. And yeah, certainly one to look forward to. But complete trainer error left him extremely short of work going to the racetrack on his first out in this year.
Great stuff, Ollie. Thank you so much. Just a couple of real brief questions. I've just asked to ask you about the relationship between yourself and the Morans. Did that come around, obviously, with the connection between yourself and Gordon Elliott? Is that where that initiated?
Yeah, correct. So yeah, Noel and Valerie have been great to me since I came home from Gordon's in 2017. I obviously got to know them through Gordon's, which was great. So yeah, we've kind of always have kind of three or four or five horses for them. Obviously, they sponsor Gordon's Yard. They're one of Gordon's biggest owners and supporters as well. So yeah, it's all a big team effort. Very very straightforward to train for. Love the National Hunt racing, and they've got a lot of good horses in Ireland, and it's great that they're kind of supporting English racing as well with a few. And yeah, they're the type of owners that you want around the place, and hopefully they've got a couple of really nice horses actually this year.
You got the Blue Room, I think was one of theirs. The Blue
Yeah, I
Room.
really like him now. I think his horse goes under the radar. Won a bumper on his third time of asking, and he actually did a really, really good bit of work this morning. And yeah, he'll start off in a maiden hurdle back end of October, early November, once soft ground. And yeah, I'd keep on the right side of him.
Perfect. And final question, just how important to you, Ollie, is having someone like Sean Bowen? For example, when you watch Booster Bob tailing off out the back of the telly. I mean, Sean certainly didn't give up. Bob certainly didn't give up. What's your mindset like watching a race like that?
Yeah,
With
the trainer gave up.
yeah, well, that's what I
So
wonder because I
the
did with
trainer
my
thought, "What
eyes
the
too.
bloody hell?" Yeah, the trainer thought, "What the bloody hell are you doing? Pull it up, and we can run it in 2 weeks' time."
It
But
must be incredible to have him on side.
yeah, oh, listen, like he doesn't need me to talk about his ability in the saddle. I think he's over the last couple of years really brought the best out in me as a
Great.
trainer. And listen, I'd like to think in certain aspects that I kind of bring the best out of him and a rider as well. I try not to tie him down to any instructions. He knows these horses as well as me, and I'd like to think that if he gets it wrong, he kind of knows he isn't going to get a roasting or
Incredible.
rollicking off me and be put under pressure now when he goes out in his next one. So it's we're working in professional sport. It's all about man management, isn't it? And managing your players and team. And obviously, yeah, Sean's my number nine. He's the fella that I rely on to put it in the back of the net most of the time. And I think the most important thing as a trainer, what you've got to do with your jockeys, whether it's Sean Byrne or a young lad, you've got to install them full of confidence. You've got to make sure that they know that you've got full belief in their ability. And obviously they've got decisions to make out on a racetrack in a split second. And I think when jockeys have in the back of their head that shouldn't I do this? Am I going to get a bollocking off my trainer? I think that's when they don't ride as well as they can. So yeah, I'm very very lucky to have Sean as my stable jockey, and feel like we work really really well together, get on great, and I'd like to think we're both kind of growing kind of at the same time as yeah, the way our careers are going. Hopefully we're growing together.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've kind of seen myself even the last couple of years, see him mature as a person and as a rider. And I think one thing that's never really talked about with Sean is actually how good he is with owners, both post and pre-race. And as a trainer, it makes your job an
Yeah,
awful lot
sure.
easier when a jockey can come in and be positive before, and more importantly, when a horse runs disappointing or doesn't win or gets beaten at 1-2 or whatever, and you've got disappointed owners, that a jockey can then leave and walk back to the weighing room and install owners with confidence that this is what we're going to do in 3 weeks' time, and that's very important. And I think that's a massive attribute of Sean's, and yeah, he started the season off fantastically well. He's 100 winners up already, and hopefully there'll be plenty of quality as well as quantity amongst them now for the rest of the season.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad you said that because he's a proper gentleman as well, giving up sort of winning prize money and things like that for charity. He's just an all-round top professional. And it's good, Ollie, because like I said, narrowing down your horses, it took me forever because I could have you for hours if I wanted to, but the fact that he's got so many good horses to ride as well. I suppose it's a real good, a real good team effort for you. Because I did ask him, I said, "Do you get given instructions?" He said, "Oh, I like to go on instinct." And I mean, I suppose you can't really teach, what he's been able to do on Booster Bob and Moon D'Orange for the McConnell team and things as well. So yeah, great to know that everyone's thriving at the yard, Ollie, and I really appreciate your time. That's for sure. Um, that will be it, Ollie. I know we've got Chepstow tomorrow, so I'm going to try and let you get somewhat of a what of an early night. But thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I do.
No problem at all, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. And yeah, I hope you find plenty of winners for the season.
Thanks a lot, Ollie. Best of luck at Chepstow this week, and thank you to everyone that has also tuned in. If you can click like and subscribe, that would be great. Loads more content coming real soon. And again, please do give Ollie and the team all the support this season. Not that it's needed. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you all real soon.